find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Stafford going to throw from the outset. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Rams and Cardinals, they met 3 times a season ago. They each won in the other's building in the regular season. The Cardinals 37-20 in Week 4, and the Rams in Week 14 on Monday night would win it 30-23. And then, of course, they would also meet in the first ever Monday night wild card game, the final game of the first Super Wild Card weekend. And the Rams kicked off their title run with a 34-11 win at SoFi. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Stafford now to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They start the drive with Evans. Taken down at the 42.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray off play action. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The Cardinals had 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, that's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Evans. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Cardinals first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. On the move to his left. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to him. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 40. Going out. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. On the counter, it's Evans. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Play fake. Murray. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Evans is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
2nd down and goal. Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown Cardinals. Rondale Moore from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Prater for the extra point. And that'll make the score, 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Throwing is Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. That'll give him 8 that time. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with a 14-0 lead, they may just try to get this to the locker room. Play action. Now it's Murray. That is caught downfield. It's Waller. Touchdown, Cardinals. Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cards will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw, Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. On play action, it's Murray. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Throwing on first down is Murray. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be out right at the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Evans running behind center. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Murray. Able to find Isabella. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That is caught downfield by Isabella. Touchdown, Cardinals! Andy Isabella with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Prater for the extra point, and it is 28-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Phoenix, Arizona's the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. This is caught. Touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Rams get a bit closer. Matt Gay on for the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Isabella now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Murray off play action. To Connor on the check down. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Murray now on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Throwing again, Murray. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Murray.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Rams will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Stafford. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side complete. That's Ward. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. And the Rams are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
I love plays like that. A defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team, always wanted to be the tailback carrying the ball, trying his best to lug that bad boy the distance.
Pretty impressive pick there off the screen, and then a nice return.
You know, nowadays, they do more ball drills with the big guys than ever before because they want to take possessions away from the offense.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
They'll toss this right side to Cam Akers.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position.
A quick throw complete out to Isabella.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Play fake. Murray. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Throwing now is Murray. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 2nd and goal, Murray. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. To throw is Murray. The quick slant caught. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
They get this out quickly to the left side. And he is not going to be able to get away as they swarm him for a loss shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From his own goal line, Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. He's at the 50. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And plenty to praise on the play, but this is also a bit of a breakdown defensively because you've got to be right on him when he makes the catch. Otherwise, he has the ability to really make you pay, and he does right there, picking up excellent real estate after the catch.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Stafford looks to throw again. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. This is caught. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Isabella now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Back to throw it, Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Play action. Now it's Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
After the interception, here's Stafford.
He's got Cooper Kupp on the slant. Finding space at the 40. Down the left sideline. And he'll be taken out of bounds all the way down near the 35-yard line.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Cards, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile for L.A., the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.